Hey peeps, how you all doing out there on the worldwide wobbly wonderful? Sister Elle here with you for the full moon in Capricorn reading. And we have a partial solar eclipse with this full moon that we're having on the 16th of July. That's right, so how's it been? All you Cancerians, you all having fun? Still in your time. So, the lunar eclipse is when the moon is eclipsed out by the earth, and so we'll be having great contact with the Capricornian feel because the earth will be involved, obviously. And what is Capricorn? Capricorn is the mountain goat at the top of the chart. This is how we're seen by people around us. This is how we take our own authority out into the world and dominate ourselves or either others. This is the place that we strive for in our charts. So whatever we strive for right now may be coming to an ending. If it's to do with governmental structures or with working in that kind of area. We also have Pluto and Saturn there with this moon in Capricorn and also the South Node. So this will be helping us to let go. The South Node will help us to let go. Pluto will help to release us of any toxic waste that we have within our system, any habits that we have. And Saturn also is teaching us to look at long-term strategies. And Pluto and Saturn are now in retrograde, telling us to look again. Okay, so we do have Cancer, the Sun in Cancer, giving us some great comfort there within our inners. We also have the North Node, part of the sky that we're aiming towards in Cancer. So this is getting a real boost from the Sun. And we also have Venus in Cancer. Venus is exalted here in Cancer and likes being here. And so they're giving us great comfort and joy and making sure that we look after ourselves. Okay, at this time of the strict rules and structure that we place upon ourselves is starting to crumble. Okay, so that, like I said, it'll be in the areas of work and career. That's what Capricorn rules, and governmental structures. So right now the moon's at 5 degrees of Capricorn, and this lunar eclipse will be at 24 degrees of Capricorn. Okay, and right now we have Mars in Leo, and he's surging forward. He likes to be in Leo. He's very fiery, very passionate. We also have Mercury in Leo, but he's going retrograde. He, she, ambidextrous, androgynous, and so he's 2 degrees now, and he'll be 1 degree tomorrow when this eclipse happens. This is telling us to think about the glory of ourself. What is our higher aspect of self? What is our kingly aspect, and how are we going to use it with our thoughts? Also, when it goes back retrograde and into Cancer, it brings us back into the family lineage. How are we thinking about our family lineage to make it larger or more comfortable for ourselves when he goes back into Leo? So that's our thoughts there with Mercury. So we'll be given lots of things a rethink. We have a few planets in retrograde, as I was saying. When they're in retrograde, we rethink these areas of our lives. We also have Jupiter in retrograde, so we can rethink our grand thoughts and the way we integrate this within our families, because Cancer is the sign of the family and the home and the seat of the soul, indeed. I'd like to say thank you to my students who turned up for my first Astro for Beginners class. So it's great to share this information, and thank you, and I'll see you all again soon. Okay, currently we have Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is the wounded part of ourself. To see where Aries is in your chart, and we're starting to revive that, to take authority, literally, of ourselves and heal ourselves in areas that may have been quite damaging within our raising, within our growing up. So right now the moon is 5 degrees, as I was saying, and Chiron is also 5 degrees in Aries. And so what is happening is they're speaking with each other and about our personal home and family needs, because Aries is about how we look after ourselves, and the moon and Chiron are how we look after our emotional self. So Capricorn is the first house of the eclipse right now. So your very self and things within you may be changing quite drastically, and how you rule over yourself or authority figures, how they rule over you. This will all be in the spotlight, and this is so it can have a rejig and a reformulation. And the sun will be helping you in your 7th house of relationships, giving you much more balance and a big boost on how you relate to other people. So that's for you, Capricorn. Oh, hi, I'm rushing ahead. Yes, I'm going to go into the houses now and the signs and see who gets what. So that's you, Capricorn, with the 1st house and the 7th house of the sun. Sagittarius, you'll be having the eclipse in your 2nd house of values and finances. You'll be rethinking this area of how you make your own money. And the sun will be reflecting on your 8th house, on how you gain money from others or how you gain resources from others. So others will be on their way to aid you with any projects that are coming up right now. So that's for you, Sagittarius. Scorpio, you'll be having this eclipse in your 3rd house of friends, local neighbours, transport, short distance travelling, and siblings. So you'll be rethinking how you think, because the 3rd house is how we think. It's the house of Mercury. So you'll be rethinking how you think about your friends, how you think about your families, etc. And you'll be getting the sun shone on your 9th house, so you may be more interested in far distance traveling or going to see family in different countries or do some sort of higher education. That's what the 3rd house rules. So that's for you, Scorpio. Libra, you've got this eclipse happening in your 4th house, so there'll be a rejig of how you see home and family. Maybe moving, there may be a move in the works, or just a resort out of how you live. And also the 4th house is how we look after ourselves, the very base of ourselves. So you'll be looking at your foundations and your body, Libra. And the 10th house is where the sun will be shining for you, or where the sun is shining, 10th house of Cancer. And so you'll have a revive or review of your authority, how you take authority of yourself and how you allow others to take authority of you. Excellent. So Virgo, the eclipse will be in your 5th house of joys and pleasures and children, romance. So your ideas will be changing in this area. The sun will be in the 11th house, so you'll be more gravitating towards groups that you like to be with and attending different classes, maybe meeting new people and having some rewards in that way in the 11th house there for you, Virgo. Okay, Leo, the eclipse is happening in your 6th house. 6th house of home and family, work and balance, I like to call this house. But it's also everyday living. And so you'll be rethinking your day-to-day habits. Are they really suiting you? Anything that's not suiting you is going to be chopped out, given the chop. Okay? And how you work in service to others. If you're giving far too much and getting far too little return, that area may be eclipsed. You have the 12th house, however, with the sun shining, bringing new dreams. You probably need more sleep. You need to regenerate yourself at this time, Leos. So you can come forward with some new ideas, new visions, dreams and concepts. Okay, Cancer, the eclipse is happening in your 7th house of one-to-one relationships, marriages, could be business partnerships also. So there'll be a bit of a rejig happening there, and you may be switching partners, or different partners are coming in and out of your life. The sun obviously is in your 1st house, so the sun is shining on the relationship you have with yourself, and also how you look after yourself and how you appear to others. So there's a newness there with your sun and your solar return there, Cancer. So you'll have a revitalization of action for the self. Okay, Gemini, the eclipse is happening in your 8th house of other people's resources and deep connections, deep conversations. So some areas may be coming to an end in order for your personal wealth to grow and for you to be finding other ways of how to have more personal growth for the self rather than relying on others. So the sun is shining in the 2nd house of how you value yourself and the value and wealth that you draw to yourself off your own steam, so to say. So that's you there. Gemini, so you'll be having the 8th and the 2nd house. 8th and 2nd house cusp. Okay, they'll be talking with each other. Okay, Taurus, you've got the eclipse happening in your 9th house. So old philosophies, the way they used to think about certain structures, the way you used to think about higher education or religious matters, will be coming to an end. Probably a bit of a crumbling going on there to make way for new ideas and thoughts to emerge from the 3rd house, in where the sun is shining currently for you. So you probably go into more teaching, more of a hands-on approach to your higher learning at this time. So that'll be good for you there, Taurus, with the 9th and the 3rd house equation. And so we have Aries. The eclipse is happening in your 10th house. So that's the house of authority of self, the authority of others. Government structures, the way you look at government may be crumbling, or things that you have to do with high authority maybe taking a shift around about now. And then you'll have the sun shining in your 4th house, giving you a boost in your very self, your very confidence, the 4th house of home and family, and of the physical self too. So you'll be looking after the self and family and foundation, and the sun will be helping you there to give you more revitalization as we go through the crumbling of the 10th house of authority and authority figures. Okay, I thought I'd draw a card for all of the elements, and I thought I would use, let me see, Kyle Gray, Angels and Ancestors, as we are in this time of the ancestors with the sun in Cancer there. Thank you, cards. I pray that you give us a reading. It'd be great if you can give us a reading of a feel for this eclipse, for the collective actually, and I think we'll go with 3 cards. Okay. Yay, so I hope all your areas are shining with the sun, and I hope the collapse with this lunar eclipse is not too drastic, so our emotions will be affected somewhere along the line, with it being the moon, and it's the moon in Capricorn coming to a fullness with our authority, how we see ourselves, and making way for new structures to emerge. Okay, this card appears to want to come out. Oh, all 3 cards. So at this time, you may come in touch with a great teacher, and what we need to do is learn from our spiritual experiences. Such a beautiful card there. Spiritual teacher. That's right, Capricorn, top of the chart right there. We also have the High Priestess, and it says, harness your mystic powers. How wonderful. We have the sun in Cancer. Cancer is a very watery side, very mysterious, very intuitive. It was a great time to use that emotion round about now, I would say. And the 3rd card is Spirit Fox. It says, trust your talents in changing times. How apt, as we're going through a very revitalizing structure of our authority of self. Things will be eclipsed out in whatever area you have Capricorn there in your chart. So you can take a look and know that the energies are with us at these times. And if we tune into these energies, we'll have a much smoother ride within ourselves. Okay, sweeties. Thank you very much for tuning in for me today, and hope to see you all soon when we have the new moon in Leo. Okay, take care. Bye.